back again, Dr. Bones. Summertime, we're going to be putting together a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. You probably know me as Dr. Bones, the Dr. Bones Show. Well, I'm also the Juggling Gourmet. I talk about the science of cooking, molecular gastronomy, bringing science to the kitchen to the classroom. So again, the bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. The typical ingredients in the bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich, if you hadn't figured that out already, would be bacon, lettuce, and tomato. Of course, you've got to put on a little mayo there in most of these sandwiches, and between 2 slices of bread. I'm going to use a roll instead of bread. But you can also put other ingredients on the BLT. You can dice up some onion. You can throw on some lemon juice, some seasoning. We'll consider those as we go. First order of business, the bacon. Let's talk a little bit about American bacon, pork belly bacon. If you look at the label of bacon, you're going to see something called sodium nitrite. Sodium nitrite is NaNO2 as opposed to sodium nitrate, which is NaNO3. Sodium nitrite, why do they put that in bacon? Well, because you don't really need botulinous toxin coursing through you. So to get rid of those bacteria and toxins, you can keep them at bay with sodium nitrite. So just in case you're worried about it, don't worry too much about it. Sodium nitrite. So sodium nitrite in the bacon, not to worry about. We fry up the bacon, some delicious crispy bacon. I'll be putting that on the sandwich. First order of business, I'm going to choose some type of bread or roll. I like rolls. You don't necessarily have to use bread necessarily, but a roll. I like to keep the outside of the roll soft, and I like to crisp up the inside of the roll. So how do I do that? Instead of putting this in a toaster or oven, I simply cut it open, and then into a frying pan with some butter. Yes, throw in some butter, delicious butter. Let's zoom in on this one here. So you go from the, whoops, I'm back here. You go from the roll to start to a nice crispy roll. So soft on the outside and nice and crispy and crunchy, tasty. The Maillard reaction is the caramelization reaction. Crunchy on the inside, delicious. So we're going to start with that. Let's put that down onto the plate. The next thing we're going to need, we need some lettuce. You can put your basic iceberg lettuce. I like romaine lettuce or leaf lettuce. I'm going to juggle some lettuce eventually. I'll probably throw in some lettuce when I juggle the tomatoes. So we've got our lettuce. With the lettuce, I like to just slice it down the stem. Here I've got my knife. I'm going to slice the stem out. Okay, so there we go, slicing the stem out. You can actually use the stems for dipping like you would with celery, slicing the stems out. If you want to crunch the stems in, okay, I just like to get rid of them when you're dealing with a sandwich. You just have the leafy portion. So that's what I'm going to have left over, the nice leafy part of the lettuce. Tomatoes, beefsteak tomatoes, on the vine tomatoes, plum tomatoes. Doesn't really matter too much. A lot of people like the beefsteak tomatoes. Let's see if I can juggle 4 tomatoes without making a tomato sauce. That will be another show, but here we go. You ready? We are in the studio, and he's juggling, and there he goes, and he's got 4 tomatoes going. I hope we're going to get this on camera because this is not easy to do with the light shining in my eye. Are you getting this? I guess so. I hope so. All right, so 4 tomatoes. That's the Juggling Gourmet for you. He likes to live dangerously. That's in the sense of juggling. Okay, so 4 tomatoes. Let's slice up one of them. Let's put this to the side. I'm going to slice up a tomato. The thing about being ambidextrous is I can slice with the right hand, I can slice with the left hand, and we'll slice through. So here we go. Some nice beef steak. I like it thinly sliced. Beef steak tomato. So I like the kind of thin shavings of the tomato. Some people like a real thick tomato. I kind of like it draped over, sort of like a thin piece of Swiss cheese. Really up to you. There we go. Some nice sliced through tomato. I'm going to put that on the sandwich as well. So the sandwich is starting to come together. Other things that you might want to put on onion, if you're worried about the sulfides in the onion creating a sulfuric acid, very weak sulfuric acid in the tears. People are worried about the tearing up. Get yourself a fan. You can turn on the fan. When you're dicing up the onion, you can simply turn on the fan, blow this away from you. You can get yourself some safety goggles, or onion goggles that they're calling them, and we call them safety goggles in the chemistry lab, but you can simply just blow this away. So I'm not going to put any onion on today, but I will juggle a few. So we've got some onions to juggle. Anything food related, Dr. Bones just loves to juggle it. Or I should say the Juggling Gourmet loves to juggle it. So we can go behind the back today. Hopefully I can do this without making a mess. And there we go. Hopefully you got that. Very good. So juggling the onions. And like I said, seasoning. You might try some seasonings. Here I've got some seasoned grinders, lemon and pepper, the Italian herb, some type of a peppercorn medley. You don't necessarily have to put seasoning on, but it might be fun to try, and try not to break them. All right. By the way, you don't have to do any juggling. I'm the Juggling Gourmet. I love to juggle while I entertain people about the science of cooking and so on. We've got all of the ingredients. Let's start putting this together. Let's get the primary plate here with the bread. I've got the bread. Again, I crisp the inside, so here's my bread. I'm going to throw on some mayo on each side of the sandwich. A little bit of mayo. There we go. I'm going to slop that around a little bit. And throw down some lettuce. Or some lettuce. Delicious lettuce. Romaine lettuce, as opposed to iceberg, if you can get it. If you like the traditional iceberg, that's perfectly fine. Some people don't like lettuce on the BLT. Apparently that's called a BT. So they want to get rid of the lettuce. But lettuce adds texture and flavor. And on a hot day, you can feel the difference with the lettuce. Here comes the tomato. If you're someone who just likes heavy on the bacon, well, you can go a little tomato. Here I'm going to put some crispy bacon. So I've got my tongs here for the bacon. Let's put that in the middle. All right, so let's go heavy on the bacon today. So that's 2 strips of bacon, a little bit more tomato. All right, just to make sure that you know you're having your vegetables, but here comes more bacon. I have a friend of mine who likes bacon with his bacon. Okay, I'm not going to name his name. He just loves bacon. And there's the top. And then we can cut through. Let me just bring my knife over here. We're going to cut through. I'll cross-cut on the bacon. We should have 2 nicely divided sides of the sandwich with bacon popping out the ends on both sides. So there you go. There's my bacon, lettuce, and tomato. With the bacon on the outside, through the outside. Inside you can see you've got the vegetables. If you want to throw in some onion, seasoning, and so on, it's up to you. But that is a delicious sandwich to try. All right, so there you have it. So I'll see you in the next segment, the Juggling Gourmet. Let's try juggling a couple of tomatoes and some lettuce as I check out. Take care. Bye for now.